Okay, so everybody should have a blank Illustrator document. And the first thing that I would like you to do is to make two lines, something like this. So I'm going to click once. Oh, the screen's off. Okay, we'll let that warm up. All right, and then, so just with your pen tool, just like you did before, just make two somewhat parallel lines. They don't need to be straight. You can make them curved. In fact, it's better if you do make them curved. Yep, and click out of it. You'll have to watch the YouTube video from before to get that, but just try to follow along as well as you can right now, and then we can go back to that. Okay, so now you can see up there, I've got a line there, and now I've got another line. They don't have to be curved, they can be straight, but if it's curved, it might look better. All right, so I've got two lines here, and they're both the same color. And up here, again, is my stroke color. And I want no fill color, so you can do that down here as well. So if you mouse over it, it says fill, and this is stroke. So you want a colored stroke color, but not a fill color. So the fill, you can just click on it and then click on this little white box with the red line through it. I'm going to change the color of one of these other ones. So one of them's sort of a maroon. I'm going to make the other one maybe like a, let's see what would go with that. We can make this one blue. Okay, so we've got two lines next to each other. If you want to change the thickness of these lines, you can go over to your stroke over here. If you don't have this up, on some of yours, there's a little icon on the right that has little lines that get thicker. They'll start out thinner and get thicker and thicker and thicker, and it's like this tiny little icon over there. If you don't see that, go to Window and then Stroke. So if I go Window and then Stroke, that'll take me over to this, and I can change the weight of these lines. So this line right here, I can bump this up so it's thicker. But for this, you want them around 1. You might want to go even thinner. You'll see why. You can mess with that later. So I've got two lines with two different colors, and you can make the thickness different. And so I want to highlight both of these. So I go to my direct select tool. I just put a box around them to highlight both. The other way to do this is to go, if you look up right here, you see the little blue boxes. If you click on the little blue box, that's what will be highlighted. So right now I've got one of them highlighted, this top one, and I can hold the shift key down and then click down like that, and they're both highlighted, or I can just select over the top of them like that.
Are the lines supposed to be in separate layers?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It'll automatically put the two lines in separate layers. Okay, now that you've got both of these, now and have them both highlighted, go up to Object, Blend, and then Make. All right, and then it should give you a whole bunch of lines in between those two lines. Some of you may have one line in between. Some of you may have a bunch more, but I'm going to go to the next step, which is double clicking on the blend tool, which is the tool that is right below the eyedropper tool. It's got a square and a rounded square and a circle. Double click on that, and it should give you this right here, blend options. You can also get that by going Object, Blend, and then Blend Options. Okay, once you have this, then go over to where it says it might be on smooth color or specified distance. It needs to be on specified steps. This tells you how many lines are in between your two lines. So right now it's 60. I can change that to 20 and you can see the difference. Now there's 20 lines in between. I can double click on this again. I can make this, 80 if I want. Once it's made, you can also go back to your direct select tool and you can click on any one of these anchors and you can move the anchor around. You can move this back. You can mess with the handle, make it more curved. You can always go back again and do stuff to it. So I can make this have sort of a curved effect down, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that is how the blend tool works. And the assignment that you're going to be doing involves a picture that you can get from the internet, and you can choose whatever you want. I just chose a hot air balloon because it just seems pretty easy because you've got these lines that are somewhat parallel. You want something with lines next to each other. I've seen people do fish or pumpkins or animals. There was a cool one with the zebra and the zebra stripes. There's like whatever you want to use, you can use. I just am choosing this to show you how this works. So once you have this here, and then your artboard, this is right here, this is your artboard, and I'm putting this over the top of the artboard like that. Once you've got it where you want it, you can always change the size of your artboard. So I could go to my artboard tool and I can move this artboard down a little bit. And once you've got it, go ahead and lock the layer that is the background layer. That way it's not clicked. It's not going to get in the way. Make sure that you lock this background layer. And you notice this little triangle right here. So if you click on the triangle and you get the sublayer inside, it's best if you just click on the one layer, the sublayer. Lock it. Okay. Now I've got it locked. And now I go up to my pen tool. I choose a color. If you don't get a color from up here, go back down to here and double click on your stroke and pick something. I'm just going to pick this pink. All right, so now you use your pen tool, and just like you did on the last assignment, you match the line. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to go down to here, and I'm going to click again, and I'm going to match this line. All right, it doesn't need to be perfect because you can change it later. Go back to your direct select tool, click outside of it, and then go back into it, and now do your other line. So start here. Okay, now I'm going to match that curve. Okay, now I got two lines here, and I'm going to highlight both, and then I'm going to go Object, Blend, Make, and then that fills it in with those lines. Now if it's too many lines, then I can go here to my blend tool and I double click on it. I could bump this down to maybe 50, see how it looks. Okay, maybe I like that better. Alright, now I can zoom in and I can go to my direct select tool and I can click on these anchors individually and I can move these a little better into place. So your first go around, just get it close. You can always go back and fix it and make it closer. Something like that. Got that one. I'm just clicking on my arrow keys to move these around. Okay. So once you're done with this particular blend, you don't want it to get in your way. You don't want, when you're making another one, to accidentally click on this one and have it be in the way. So you want to lock this layer as soon as you're done. So right here I can go to next to my layers, click the little lock button next to that one, and then you're done. And now you go on to the next one. So after this, now I just start again, and I'd probably use a different color. I'll go to my stroke color, and maybe I'll make it yellow. And click here. It's easier if you make it small when you're doing these because you're going to pull your handle out. You need the extra room. Okay, there's that. Now I make another one. Oops. All right, so I made another one there, and now I'm going to highlight both and go to Object, Blend, Make, and now I've got a yellow one. And I zoom in, I make sure it's where I want it, and you can also mess with these handles afterwards. Like if you didn't like exactly where it was, you can move these handles around. Fitting these back together, if I wanted to fit this one a little better, I could lock this layer and unlock this one. Now I'm back to this one over here. So if I wanted to move this over a little bit, then I can grab this handle. Something like that. All right, now at any point in time, just to check your work, you can go back to your background image and just turn it off. So click this little eye, and it turns it off, and you can see what you've done so far and how it looks. Why does this not look round? I don't know what you mean. And so you can pick something that, in the beginning, if you want to pick something easy, that's fine, but I'd like you to challenge yourself. Pick something that's a little bit tough, that you can trace, that you can use this. I would practice with the blend tool. You can try crossing things over the top of each other. But it's usually better if they're not touching. You can't do a blend if any of the anchor points are touching. Like if you connected these 2 points up here, for instance, it wouldn't let you blend. If you left the background on and it was highlighted, it won't let you blend. So you got to just have just 2 that aren't touching or that are overlapping, as long as the anchor points aren't together, because you need 2 separate paths to do it. And I think that is it.